Okay, so responding to Carol's call, I just thought I'd try and do a quick 2-minute video on what it is we're doing. So I suppose the first thing is, what is we doing as a family? We're trying to stay sane, but there are some positive sides to that. We've had the kids watching the Blues Brothers, which went down really well over the weekend. Less well this morning. We had them out doing the beep test in a patch of grass behind our house. Pleased to say I trashed my 12-year-old, but the missus got a bit closer to me than I would have liked. Otherwise, back to the day job. Obviously things are pretty chaotic at the moment, but I'm going to leave others to describe the chaos in the police stations and the courts separately, because their first-hand experience is far more relevant than mine. So I'll stick to what I know and just say a couple of things about practice management and what we're trying to do. I think the first thing is we are trying to communicate as much as we can, as often as we can, and as effectively as we can. And that seems to be providing some reassurance within the firm. That said, I'm about to contradict myself, because everything is moving so fast that you literally cannot read anything that was published yesterday and rely on it on the basis that it is valid and relevant today. On which score, I think I would just ask people to cut some slack to HMCTS and the MOJ. Hello wife, that was a bit unscripted, but thank you very much for that drink. Cut some slack to the MOJ and even the LAA. God, I can't believe I said that. You know, we are seeing them taking action and processing information from us and trying to come up with solutions which I'm hoping are going to be practical solutions rather than bean counting solutions. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, and I'm hoping that we'll see that in a much more meaningful way in the next couple of days. What is absolutely clear is that things are moving at an unprecedented pace. The fact that we don't have fully video enabled courts, fully video enabled police stations, fully video enabled prisons is not exactly new news, and for those to become so enabled overnight, you know, just ain't going to happen. So finally, I'm just going to say one point about the government assistance that's out there, which we're looking at very closely. Obviously everyone should be speaking to their bank, but also deciding on what kind of business they really are. Ultimately in crime, we're about to get a drop off in a work that could be what, 75-80% of work, and you know, even if we take a VAT deferment, etc., you know, all this stuff has to be paid back. So you know, realistically, if you're going to get through this in the short, medium and long term, you've got to be looking now at a planning horizon of being around for long enough to clear debt that it may be possible to clear, but it's not going to be possible to clear in a 6-12 month period, because we are going to be deferring considerable sums of money off into the future. The loan scheme doesn't look particularly helpful, in the sense that the bank, the scheme requires you to exhaust your existing borrowing with your bank, and if the bank is going to be helpful to you, the loan scheme is no real assistance. If the bank isn't going to be helpful to you, then why on earth would you be the kind of business that wants yet another loan? The furlough scheme, that is of more interest in terms of being able to lay off staff in the short term at a considerable percentage of their current salary, and then be able to take them back on when this crisis is over. Details are sketchy at the moment, but clearly that's something that you should be looking into, but only really if you're planning to, you know, take a considerable period of time to recover from this shock. Otherwise, everyone stay safe. You know, we're doing our best to keep our spirits up. I've come to work, albeit without having shaved. I've still got my Tuckers Solicitors t-shirt on, so we're keeping it real.